Join me as I dive into the drama of Bishop Todd Hall getting slammed by Bishop J Drew Sheard at 66. Can I break down what really happened? Bishop Todd Hall and Bishop J Drew Sheard are two prominent figures in the church community, known for their leadership and influence. Bishop Hall has been a respected voice in the church, while Bishop Sheard has been a trailblazer, leading with a strong and bold spirit. Their significance extends beyond their congregations, as they both play important roles in shaping the spiritual landscape. What if I told you that one of the most controversial, charismatic, and talked about preachers of our generation has just been elevated to a title no one ever imagined for him? A title that carries power, influence, and symbolism far beyond a simple church promotion. Because today, the whispers have become headlines, and the gospel world is reeling. Bishop Todd Hall has just been elevated to a pope, and whether you celebrate him, question him, or fear what this means, the story behind this moment is far more explosive than anyone expected. But the real shock, the comparison people are making between Todd Hall and Bishop Eddie Long and why church insiders say history may be repeating itself. And trust me, once you hear the details, you'll understand why this moment has everyone talking. For decades, Bishop Todd Hall has been a figure that commands attention, charismatic, bold, and often controversial. His sermons have drawn thousands. His influence has reached far beyond his church walls, and his name has been whispered in both admiration and caution across the gospel world. But now everything has shifted, because being elevated to a pope is not just a title, it's a statement, a declaration of authority, influence, and reach. And for Bishop Todd Hall, this elevation is sending shockwaves through the church, the media, and social media alike. Some see it as a monumental achievement, a recognition of his spiritual leadership. Others see it as a move that mirrors the rise and controversies of legendary figures like Bishop Eddie Long. And here's the part most people aren't talking about. This elevation didn't happen in isolation. Behind closed doors, there were strategic moves, calculated endorsements, and a network of church leaders who quietly supported this ascension. Meanwhile, critics are asking the tough questions. Is this power, influence, or something far more complicated? Today, we're peeling back the curtain on Bishop Todd Hall's rise. You won't believe the conversations happening behind the scenes, the comparisons to past gospel icons, and the controversial moments that led to this unprecedented moment in church history. Stay with me, because what happens next will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about leadership, fame, and accountability in the gospel world. Bishop Todd Hall didn't appear on the radar overnight. His rise was gradual, calculated, and fueled by a combination of charisma, strategy, and an uncanny ability to command attention. From his earliest days preaching in modest church spaces to his current status as a controversial figure in the gospel world, every move he made seemed to be building towards something bigger, though no one knew exactly what. Early in his career, Hall was known for his dynamic sermons, the kind that left congregants inspired, energized, and emotionally moved. His voice, his stage presence, and his ability to weave personal stories with spiritual lessons quickly drew attention beyond his local congregation. Word spread, not just because of his talent, but because he understood influence. He knew how to make every word count, how to captivate audiences, and how to craft a public persona that demanded both respect and curiosity. But influence in the gospel world is a delicate balance. It's not enough to preach well. It's not enough to grow a following. Leaders who rise too fast, too visibly, often encounter skepticism from peers, whispers in leadership circles, and scrutiny from those who feel their authority is being challenged. And Bishop Hall knew this. From early on, he began cultivating relationships with established leaders, attending conferences, making strategic appearances, and positioning himself as someone who could unite rather than divide. By the time he entered the national spotlight, Hall had mastered the art of visibility. His sermons were shared online, his interviews circulated widely, and social media became a tool he wielded with precision. But what set him apart wasn't just his talent, it was his willingness to court controversy. The incident that led to Bishop Sheard's criticism of Bishop Hall has left many in the church stunned. It appears that Bishop Hall made a statement or took an action that Bishop Sheard strongly disagreed with, prompting a forceful response. The stakes are high, as this public disagreement has sparked a heated debate among church members and leaders. This isn't just about two bishops, it's about the values and direction of the church. Bishop Sheard's criticism was not made in private, it was aired publicly, which has amplified the tension. By speaking out, Bishop Sheard has made it clear that he will not tolerate what he sees as a departure from the truth. This has led to a lot of speculation about the nature of their disagreement and what it might mean for the future of the church. The situation is complex, with many factors at play. The implications of this confrontation are still unfolding, but one thing is certain: it has opened up a much-needed conversation about accountability and leadership in the church. As more details come to light, it's clear that this is not just a personal issue between two bishops, but a reflection of deeper issues within the church. Bishop Todd Hall and Bishop J Drew Sheard both come from long lines of church leaders and have spent their lives devoted to their faith. Bishop Hall has been known for his compassion and dedication to his congregation, while Bishop Sheard has been a champion of change and progress. Their backgrounds and previous interactions have likely shaped their perspectives on this issue. Understanding their histories is crucial to grasping the context of their confrontation. Bishop Sheard, in particular, has been a vocal advocate for certain principles within the church, and his criticism of Bishop Hall may be seen as an extension of that advocacy. On the other hand, Bishop Hall's actions or statements may have been perceived as a challenge to those principles. The complexity of their relationship and previous interactions adds depth to the situation. The dynamics between these two bishops are multifaceted, with a deep history that informs their actions. Their confrontation reveals underlying tensions and differing visions for the church's future. By examining their roles in the church and how they interact, we can gain insight into why this confrontation happened. The church community is closely watching how this situation develops, given the influence both bishops have. Their actions and words carry weight, and their disagreement has already sparked significant discussion. The key moment came when Bishop Sheard directly confronted Bishop Hall, expressing his concerns and criticisms openly. The emotions in the room were palpable, with some in the audience visibly moved by Bishop Sheard's words. The reactions ranged from shock to support, reflecting the divided opinions within the church. This moment was a turning point, as it brought the disagreement into the spotlight. The confrontation was not just about the issues at hand but also about the delivery and reception of Bishop Sheard's criticism. The way Bishop Sheard chose to address Bishop Hall speaks volumes about their relationship and the seriousness of the situation. The audience's response was immediate, with some defending Bishop Hall and others siding with Bishop Sheard. The emotional intensity of the confrontation cannot be overstated, as it highlighted the passion and conviction that both bishops bring to their roles. Their body language and tone of voice conveyed the depth of their feelings on the matter. This was not a trivial exchange, it was a heartfelt expression of their beliefs and concerns. In that moment, the stakes were clear: this was about more than just a disagreement, it was about the direction and integrity of the church. The confrontation served as a catalyst for reflection and discussion within the church community. In summary, the confrontation between Bishop Todd Hall and Bishop J Drew Sheard has significant implications for both leaders and their followers. It has sparked a necessary conversation about leadership, accountability, and the church's future. The situation is a reminder that, even within the church, there can be disagreements and challenges. If you have thoughts on this or other church controversies, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Be sure to check out my previous videos on similar topics for more insights and discussions. Thanks for the watching and subscribe.